Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we are back with another react, or you could call it react, more like an analysis video, because what I have in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, is leaks or rumored leaks. Let me put a big quotation, because these are supposed leaks. Only maybe like a few have been confirmed. And when I say confirmed, we'll get to that in a minute. So let's start off. We're talking about Destiny Into the Light. It is rumored to be showcased on April the 9th. Into the Light releases, like I said, the 9th. It's more the final shape and episodes information. So I guess they're going to show us more information, hopefully. If that's the case, then I will eat my words, because I made a reply to someone in the comment section saying they're not going to do another showcase, which I still don't think they will. But one of my biggest complaints is that we've had no information about the final shape. We've had no indication of like where's the hype, man? Like, I would like some information. So this could be what we need to get hyped. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Is anything going to get you hyped for the final shape? No Destiny 2 expansion for 2025. Imagine that. That's when Marathon releases. Personally, I figured they're going to focus their attention on that. No content drop similar to 30th anniversary plan instead. So we're going to get, if that's the case, I hope we get, maybe the Halo assault rifle. That'd be cool. Looks like it. Honestly, if there was any crossover, they should do a crossover of Halo. I mean, literally, let's be honest. If anyone would go hand in hand right now, it's Bungie and 343, because they're both doing the same scummy crap with these bundles. Like, 343 wants to make some money. Guess what? You get some Destiny style Titan armor for your Spartans, and then get some Halo. The only reason I'm saying this is because then they can do events in game with like actual guns that look like the Halo assault rifle. That's the only thing I care about. I don't give a crap about the microtransaction bullcrap that they would crank into the game. But if they brought in like the Halo 3, assault rifle, or we can get a full, like, instead of having the other half, we have the full energy sword, and make it like an exotic, and it lunges you like 3 miles per hour. I don't know. I'm memeing at this point, but you get what I'm talking about, right? Man can cope, or hope. It's not even cope, it's hopium. I doubt it will ever happen, but you never know. Bungie's really wanting some money, and so is 343. Who knows? Pat their back. They pat each other's back. I don't know. Anyways, 3 more episodes planned for year 8. So that means if you did not like episodes after the final shape, if you do not like those, we're getting 3 more anyways. So buckle in, cowboy and girl. Again, this is all speculation of rumors, whether it's true or not. None of this has been confirmed. But does this sound about right? I think it's pretty reasonable since they have not really announced, especially compared to like Lightfall, where they were like, we've got all of this lined up, and we haven't really had that for the final shape. Like, there's nothing, they're not really advertising anything besides episodes. So I think it's reasonable to assume episodes is kind of padding the way for now. New saga slated for 2026. I don't know about that, Chief. I don't know about that, because they're always like, they complain about sunsetting content. And let's be honest, all the DLC that they've removed out of the base game, eventually we're going to get to that same point again. So are they going to sunset more content to fit the content that they couldn't already fit? I don't know. I don't know, because they're always sunsetting like seasons, and apparently they will be sunsetting episodes. I got a little too far on that. Yes, episodes will not be vaulted till the new saga releases, so it's gonna last at least 2 years. Which, again, I hate the sunsetting of like the last episode, because that means you're only gonna have like what, 3 months to enjoy that one, where the rest you can enjoy 2 years of it. I don't know. This is all speculation too, by the way. Again, speculation. It's rumors. Rumored leaks. We not confirmed leaks. This is not confirmed. But what is coming up to be confirmed is not this. This is still rumors. But it's rumored that 801 is firing up those forges. That's right. Black Armory forges coming back, baby. God, I hope this is true. Not because I actually like the forges, even though they are quick, they're fast, and if you want the schloot, you can get in and out. In fact, you could solo this by yourself if you wanted to. It's how easy it was. You could literally solo the forges, and I am absolutely ecstatic about that. But that means all Black Armory weapons are coming back. That's right. Oh, that's right. The juicy Black Armory weapons. I mean, the exotics obviously we have, but man, Kindled Orchid, all that beautiful bacon footage is coming back. Let me know in the comment section down below, what is your favorite Black Armory weapon? Now, what we do know is that Hammerhead's ornament has been put back in the API, back in the game. Like, it's in rotation for Eververse again this season, which they have only done that protypically when they bring back a weapon. They did that for all the other returning weapons, especially like the menagerie weapons and their skins, and even the Reckoning skins. All that stuff for those weapons that were brought back were put back into the API, into the system. So we can at least guarantee that Hammerhead from the Black Forge is coming back. That is guaranteed. Maybe not 99. I'm about 80% because 20% is Bungie. It's not been released yet, so Bungie can change their mind for about 20%. But 80%, generally, if that is back in the system, it's up for grabs. Now, let's go back to the post. All Forge weapons returning with updated perks and origin traits. Thank you. I'm excited because someone said, well, you have these little, the video I replied, I did a react to on the Armory. I forgot what his name is. No disrespect to him, but he's like, the reason why people are having some tinted glasses essentially, but if you look back, they're really not good compared to what we have now. But I'm excited to see what new perks and what the origin trait is. I'm excited for that because if they do it right, these might be some of the best weapons we've had again. Because you remember, we got some really interesting, perk combinations and some power from Black Armory. Excluding Ringing Nail. Bro, what is going on with auto rifles? Like, why is the Ringing Nail not coming back? And the World Drop Forge weapons, which we should have expected, right? We should have expected those were just generic World Drop weapons. They've been replaced like a mile by now. Forge weapons all have the Obsidian Radiance temper effect active by default now. Damage buff removed, no toggle. Now, I'd expect that because they did give you increased damage in the forges. It makes no sense to exist right now. I'm so glad because the effect was like the key part of the gun, and I'm glad that that's just part of the package now. Instead of having to try to get the item to put it on, it's just built in, and that's awesome. Niobe Labs returns. This is questionable. I don't know. This is why I'm not for sure if this is real. Like, I believe Hammerhead's coming back. They could easily bring it back for like a random world drop or something like that. But Niobe Labs, I don't know if I believe that. Like, what reason would they bring back Niobe Labs? It was more of like a one and done challenge. There was no like real loot incentive unless they make it I don't know, like a mini strike or something. Like, I don't even know how you would do that. Maybe they could. Maybe each round you get a weapon. Like, if you really think about it, you really learned how to do it. It was challenging, but it wasn't like absurdly hard. Like, I would say it was even easier than an exotic mission. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being elitist there. But I felt like Niobe Labs, once you understood it and you had the guns and you had the team, it was easier than doing an exotic mission. I could be wrong. Again, you can also solo exotic missions, and I don't think you could. Maybe you could solo Niobe Labs. Not for sure. Again, this is rumor. It's not even confirmed that Niobe Labs coming back. Who knows what they would do with it. All right, PvP! That's right, PvP. The return of the Mountain Lord himself, Mountaintop. If you are a new Destiny player and you have no idea what the heck this gun is, let me show you the PvP weapon that dominated PvE. This was the meta for I don't know how many years. So much so, even in PvP, by the way, but definitely PvE. Speedrunners used it because it had the special nade that would stick to the wall, and people used to use it to scale dungeons, like the Shattered Throne, and that's how they would like cheese and get through stuff. This was like the speedrunner delight because of what you could do with this grenade launcher. That was nerfed. Then they nerfed it to the ground for PvE and PvP, reducing the damage. That like this thing has caught so many nerfs because Bungie wanted it to die. And most people believe, and I will get on board that one of the reasons why they wanted to sunset weapons or sunset anything in general is because weapons like Mountaintop were just too good. In fact, most day ones or anything like new or day one, what you had Mountaintop. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to have random rolls. Also, Recluse is coming back, the other dominant weapon, which let me tell you, this is the SMG of SMGs. It could self-proc at damage boosts, which made it god tier. Like you think funnel web, people love funnel web because they've treated it like a mini Recluse. Recluse was the SMG. You think, oh, Immortal's so crazy, but Recluse, it was dominant in both PvE and PvP. There will never be an SMG to the same caliber as Recluse. Disgusting, nasty, and I'm excited. You know what I would love to see, because Recluse is like a 900. You know what I would love to see from Recluse? Onslaught. I want you to think of that nightmare, and it goes over 1,000. It doesn't cap at 1,000. Like this thing shoots beyond 1,000. They won't add Onslaught to it. But imagine you just had this gun go. No, what outside of Master of Arms, what perk would you even care? In fact, would anything else matter? Like, why put random rolls? Because I can already answer my own question. Master of Arms, there's no perk in this game that would make you use this over funnel web outside of Master of Arms. Because it's 900 SMG Void, like, it's got to be Master of Arms. So I'm going to be interested to see how that turns out. Not forgotten, the gun of PvP legend that made people pay for carries. In fact, there's still people like ads for carries, and that's what this is, which is kind of funny. But this hand cannon was the hand cannon. It was so disgusting. It felt good. Now, I have a serious question. It got changed to 150, but the real question is, would it even be good in this sandbox? Would it even be good? Even with Magnificent Hal? Well, they just changed PvP in the numbers. Magnificent Hal might be more valuable now. I don't know. Someone who has actually played with it, maybe I need to pull it out just to test the old version just to see. But I'd be very interested. And it's also supposed to have random rolls, which could be cool because maybe you can go for a near max roll. But I believe it came with Zen Moment and in Magnificent Hal, duh. If you could get maybe Keep Away in Magnificent Hal, that might be nasty. I don't know. Let's go back to our page. So, Micro Missile, Master of Arms, and Magnificent Hal to be adjusted so they can be introduced on more weapons. This means they're getting nerfed. If you were excited, I just gave you a gotcha. You just got outplayed because they're getting nerfed. Just like how Desperado got nerfed and like no one wants to use Desperado in like anything because it's just not good. Like it really isn't. Desperado, like it disappoints me because I remember Redrick's Claymore and just popping off of it and having so much fun. Now it's just not as good. Like Onslaught is the new Desperado. Let's be honest. It is the new Desperado. People want Onslaught. Desperado just got destroyed. I think it should have been specifically tuned for each archetype and they should have left it the way it was. Just specifically tune it for each archetype instead of taking the lazy way of just let's nerf it for everything. Not Forgotten will come from the competitive playlist. I mean, I would imagine so. If it's random rolled, that makes sense. Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten returning to 180 RPM. Also, by the way, this is going to be a lot of people are going to love this because doing matches or whatever is a lot easier than how you used to get Not Forgotten, which was to go legend or mythic. No, legend. To go legend, and a lot of people struggled to do that. Like, people mostly went Fabled for Luna's Howl instead. Which is going to be interesting. Why is Luna Howl returning and Not Forgotten? They must have different roles. There's no way because Not Forgotten was the better version of Luna's Howl. Someone in PvP who loved Luna's Howl, defend it down below. Why would we choose Luna's over Not Forgotten? And they're both returning 180s. Ooh, that does change things. I just said with the new sandbox changes, it might be different compared to how it was. With the change of sandbox, the Magnificent Howl might work differently, but now it's even at a weaker state because it's a 180. I don't know. It still may not be good. All right, and our miscellaneous again. All of this is not. The only thing we're confirmed, I believe, is Recluse, because the ornament for Recluse is also an API. So we only know that Recluse is coming back. We don't know that it's random rolled, and we don't know if everything else is coming back. But I do imagine Master of Arms is going to get nerfed. I mean, that makes sense. Everything else is speculation. It is not confirmed. Not confirmed. All right, miscellaneous. Whisper of the Worm quest. That's right. Apparently that's coming back. And Whisper of the Worm itself is going to be craftable. I feel, if there was one thing that I feel is probably the most copium, is this. I want it to be true. I want the Whisper quest to come back. I want it to be craftable. But even if it was craftable, I don't know if that would save this gun unless you made it a special weapon. But I don't think that. I think it's just maybe one or two buffs away from being good enough to use. I do. I think it's a couple buffs away from being good enough to really, like, I'm going to use this over a rocket or a grenade launcher or whatever. Like, it's almost there. It's not really there, but it's almost there. But the reason why I'm very suspect on this is because Bungie is just really refused to bring back anything from the original D2 launch, like anything OG outside of guns. They have just refused to bring anything that's been sunsetted back. No raids, no other content, like outside of more recent battlegrounds and stuff like that. Anything in even year one strikes have not come back. So I find I'm very sus about this. Now it would make sense because it was, even the planet got sunset. Like, we don't even have the planet anymore. So how would that even work? Because then they would have to port it in its own spot and everything. Like, if they could do it. They did it to other exotics. I don't know. I'm sus about that. What I am more believable about is Garden of Salvation getting craftable rolls. Most people thought we were going to get craftable rolls, but we didn't. And I'm so baffled. That was like a free W, is getting craftable, even enhanced. Well, there's no master. So, or is there master? Oh, there's no master. There's no master. That's right. Adding a master mode to it would also give you a whole nother reason to chase. I'm just saying there's a lot that they could have done. And it's not like master is like the special version like Prestige was. Master is just cracking up the difficulty, slapping in a couple of champions, and that's all they do. Like, they do really nothing else. You could say maybe they wouldn't have any special master challenges, which is something they like to do with the base version. But then just use the base version on master. Like, I don't know. I'm just, now that I think about it, that I can't really justify why they couldn't just make a master version of Garden of Salvation and then make an enhanced, not enhanced, adept versions of the guns. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's like out of everything they reuse as content, Like, why aren't they reusing the raids that aren't getting love? Like, Guard of Salvation is probably the least liked raid in the game. But that's apparently coming back with, well, it's not coming back. It's still here, but it's getting new craftable weapons, or the same ones. Updated perks and origin traits. I hope that's true. I really do. That's cope. It's cope. I hope. And Red War recap mission. I said this in one of my videos. I don't remember which one, but I think it was one of the dumbest things that they did was to have Destiny 2 because of the Red War, and then they removed all traces of Red War except for some strikes. But it makes no sense. Like, it really doesn't make any sense not to have a mission that explains what happened. Like, we just suddenly go from D1 to D2 and you're like, how did I get here? Oh, there's the old tower. What happened to that? Oh, there was a war? What war? Exactly. It's just, I feel like having a recap mission for the new player experience to kind of tie everything together makes so much sense. And then, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. Now, I don't know if this has been official. People are posting it. I haven't clicked this yet. But apparently, they're doing a Ghostbusters Wombo Combo collab. And apparently, it's only the Ghost Sparrow and ship. Now, I find that very... that I find sus. Mostly because Bungie loves milking these crossovers. They love it. They drink. They love taking the money from the pay pigs. So this is very, very interesting to me. I'm kind of going to do this on the fly. Following datamined leaks earlier this month, Sony-owned Bungie has now officially announced. Sony has now. Okay, so they officially announced it. Recently announced collaboration with Destiny 2 and Ghostbusters, which introduce new Ghostbusters-themed cosmetics to the game. However, unlike other major collaborations like Witcher and Mass Effect, the Ghostbusters collaboration will not include any armor sets. Maybe because they felt like they didn't have time to make a good set, or they just didn't feel like people would actually pay for it, or maybe it would cost them more to do this collaboration. I don't know. I don't care. I don't like the microtransaction garbage that they keep pumping into the shopping mall. That's my bottom dollar take on that. But that's it. That's all the leaks that I've seen so far. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you believe is believable? What do you, outside of like the data mined stuff and the stuff that's showing in the API, like the ornaments for Recluse and Hammerhead, the rest of it, how do you feel? The exotic Whisper Quest, do you think that's really coming back? Do you think it's going to be craftable? I would love to hear your guys' opinion. Let me know. And are you excited for any of it? That's the real question. I didn't stop to think. Am I excited? Well, Black Armor I am. Guard of Salvation, not so much. Maybe the rolls will get me to go back to that raid. Mountaintop, Recluse, Luna's Howl, those are all fantastic weapons. But honestly, with all the nerfs that they're probably going to catch, they may not be as good as we think they are. We'll see. We'll see. But honestly, I'm gonna hold my excitement based on how they've been nerfing other perks, except for Onslaught. Onslaught has been nasty, and Explosive Light is still pretty good, even though they nerfed it. There's been other things they nerfed that isn't necessarily bad, so these could be all right. But not forgotten, I'll leave the PvP masters to think about the 180, whether you think that would be good, Magnificent Howl or not. Again, it's been years since I used it, and it's not a 180 now, and I don't use 180s in PvP, so I don't even know like how the math with the new sandbox would equate. But as always, I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Until next time, don't forget to be the best version of yourself, and always game. Bye-bye.